And Schuler's initial delivery is taken for a ball inside. 1-0 pitch from Schuler, just off the outside corner. So Schuler inside once and outside once here, and just the early go. It appears like it'll be a tight strike zone. Now Williams lifts one foul down the right field line. 2-1 count. This is a senior-laden ball club for South Grand Prairie. Again, finished third in 7-6A this season. Schuler deals line drive up the middle. Schuler made a stab at it, but it was just over his glove and into center field, so it's a leadoff base hit for Garrett Williams and the South Grand Prairie Warriors. That'll bring up the center fielder, Tyler McShane. Again, Schuler just narrowly missing that line drive that was about belt high. Nice stop by Bo Rogers behind the plate there on a fastball low. 1-0 to McShane. Beautiful day for baseball. Wind out of, well, I should say blowing from right to left, but very comfortable. And a fly ball down the right field line that lands about 20 feet foul. That'll even the count at 1. Mustang infield is a familiar one today as we get going here with Gold at third. Welcome back, Gavin Gold, after a tough week of illness last week. Curveball from Schuler misses in, 2-1. Wyatt Erickson, senior and captain of this baseball team, gets the start, as always, at short. Preston Van Zant, the senior, at second base, and Nicholas Burlbaugh, the senior, at first base. 2-1 pitch just outside, 3-1. Pitch is fouled up and back. So the count is full at 3-2. Just underway here at J.J. Pearce High School. Playoff baseball finally here. Mustangs come in 21 wins, 9 losses, 1 tie. Payoff pitch is down, and the Warriors have another one on base here, so it'll be runners at first and second. That will bring up Anthony Garza. Anthony goes by Tony, so Tony Garza, the third baseman at the plate. Nobody out, 2 on, just underway here at J.J. Pearce. Fastball strike from Schuler. Mustangs had an opportunity to play an afternoon game on a Friday recently against W.T. White. Fastball strike on the outside corner, so for the first time, Schuler is out in front of a hitter at 0-2. So the Mustang defense should be used to the sunshine high in the Texas sky. Now Schuler wastes one outside. It's 1-2. One-two pitch from Schuler's a curveball, tipped foul. Jostled the catcher's mask of Bo Rogers. 1-2. So it's Region 1 playoff baseball. 8-6A matches up against 7-6A. We'll get to the other matchups here in just a moment. will tell you that Lake Highlands snuck in there into the 4 slot late last week. Fastball high from Schuler, 2-2. Lake Highlands had to sweep Richardson and have Duncanville sweep Molina to get in the playoffs. That's exactly what happened, folks. Swung on and missed from Garza. And it is a punch out for Joris Schuler here. Big strikeout for Schuler. So now 1 down, 2 aboard. Cole Kretschmer, the Warrior first baseman, will come to the plate. Now Bo Rogers wants a word with the junior hurler, Joris Schuler, and they are quickly on the same page, and we are back to business. And Schuler paints the outside corner with a fastball strike. 0-1. Just underway here on the campus of J.J. Pearce. Schuler is outside with a fastball, 1-1. If you've been keeping up with the Mustangs, you know that Schuler from time to time does get into some trouble, but seems to be able to wiggle his way out of it more than your average pitcher, and testament to that 8-0 mark that he has. Fastball just low, 2-1. Two-one delivery, runner goes, and a shot up the middle and by the glove of Vincent. Wahlberg comes up with it, throws to third. Here's a close play, and the runner is in under the tag. So it's an RBI single for Cole Kretschmer, and the Warriors have drawn first blood. They lead it 1-0. Still runners at the corners with just 1 out. That'll bring up the number 5 hitter, Josh Steffen. Schuler deals fastball strike on the outside corner. One delivery is lifted high into the air into right field. It'll be close as to whether the runner can tag. The ball is caught. Here's the throw home. Runner is coming. Relay is Errett and by Rogers at the plate. And so it'll be a sacrifice fly off the bat of Josh Steffen. And an RBI for him. So 2-0 Warriors here in the top of the first. Not 100% sure who's in right field. I believe it's Tyler Arrington. He made a good throw to Burlbaugh, but Burlbaugh's relay throw was wide and nothing that Bo Rogers could have done about that. Now a fly ball out to center, more of a line drive. Wahlberg comes in a couple steps, then has to go over his head to make the catch, but he reels it in. And that'll do it for the South Grand Prairie Warriors. They push 2 across, though, here in the top of the first. We'll be right back with the home half. Warriors lead it 2-0. Welcome back to the campus of J.J. Pearce. We head to the home half of the first. South Grand Prairie draws first blood by pushing 2 across in the top half. It'll be Benny Emmons on the hill for the Warriors. Leading off for the Mustangs will be the sophomore Burke Wahlberg, fresh off a football scrimmage last night where he is competing for the starting quarterback job. Wahlberg, just a sophomore, but leads the team in slugging percentage, second on the team in batting average. So Wahlberg right in the middle of the Mustangs' successful season. He steps in from the left side, takes a fastball strike from Emmons. Senior Wyatt Erickson, the shortstop, on deck. Swinging away, tipped foul at the plate, and Wahlberg quickly in an 0-2 hole. Thanks again for joining us here in a game that was moved up due to weather concerns from its originally scheduled time of 7:30 tonight. Crowd still filing in, a good crowd and a beautiful day for baseball. Emmons is way wide with a curveball that didn't curve, and it is 1-2 to Wahlberg. And being that I was late to the ballpark and pulled up just before game time, I don't have the defensive lineup just yet for South Grand Prairie. We'll get you that eventually, and Emmons is inside with a fastball, so Wahlberg works the count to 2-2. Two runs on 2 hits for the Warriors in the top of the first. Mustangs trying to battle back. Curveball catches the outside corner, and it's a called strike 3. To the delight of the visiting Warrior crowd. Nice start for the Warriors. The 3 seed out of 7-6A. Mansfield Lake Ridge won 7-6A. They'll match up with the 4 seed Lake Highlands, who, as we mentioned, had to get a sweep over crosstown rival Richardson High last week and have Duncanville sweep Molina to sneak into that 4 spot. That all happened. And now they will tussle with the 7-6A champ Mansfield Lake Ridge. That's at 7 o'clock tonight at Grand Prairie High School, so that's a neutral site for that. The senior Wyatt Erickson takes ball 1 here from Emmons. Fastball, strike at the belt, 1-1. One pitch is a curveball that stays up, 2-1. Erickson leads this Mustang team in slugging percentage at .500, as well as extra base hits. 11 of those for him. The next closest is 7. So Erickson can hit for power. He's got a home run and a triple. 9 doubles under his belt so far this year, and leads the team in RBI at 26. And he takes ball 4. It is very clear that the home plate umpire has a tight strike zone today, so we should see some runs, and we already have 2 runs on the board through 4 outs in this ball game. Now junior Ben Kessler, 0-1. Emmons, of course, working from the stretch now with the runner on. Curveball chopped down the third baseline. It's a good one. Nice play by the third baseman, but then throws it away, and that'll allow Erickson to come around third. He's thinking about home. Here he comes. The throw is late, and Erickson is in with a hard slide, and the Mustangs have cut the Warrior lead in half. It is now 2-1, and on the throw, Ben Kessler advances to second base. So it's an infield hit for Kessler. It was a chopper down the line toward third. And a nice play initially by the third baseman Garza to come in and scoop it up, but his throw was rushed and it was errant and by the first baseman. That allowed craziness to ensue, which led to a Mustang run and Kessler moving up to second, and that'll bring up the junior catcher, Bo Rogers. So runner at second, one down, 2-1 here in the early go. Thanks for joining us on FridayNightGlory.com. Spread the word, FridayNightGlory.com, doing great things here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex in high school sports. Tell your friends, get in there and surf around and see what all that FridayNightGlory.com has to offer. It's a great site. 1-0 count here to Rogers. Fastball swung on and missed. 1-1. Big cut from the big junior. Didn't take a long time for Bo Rogers to dirty his pearly white pants today. Fastball is lifted high to left field, and a long run for the left fielder over to the line, but a nice running catch. And Ben Kessler, who was halfway to third, will retreat. So a nice defensive play there by the Warriors will keep the score at 2-1. That'll bring up the senior left fielder, Jordan Rosenblum. So a duck still on the pond for the Mustangs, 2-1. Warriors lead it. Rosenblum up the middle, base hit. Kessler around third. Here comes the throw. He's got it, but Kessler's under the tag and the ball gets away from the catcher. And Rosenblum, first ball swinging, line drive up the middle. He'll take second on the throw home. It's an RBI single for Jordan Rosenblum, and the Mustangs say we're not used to being behind at home, and they battle back immediately to tie the score at 2. That'll bring up the sophomore Jet Arrington. Wow, lots of action here in the early go. This is why you don't be late for the FridayNightGlory.com action. High chopper. First baseman Fields flips to the pitcher covering, and they got him. So it'll be a 3-1 put out there for the third out, but the Mustangs battle back on 2 hits and 2 runs. We're tied after 1. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the campus of J.J. Pearce. Lots of action in the first inning. 2-2 tie. And it is Colton Wilburn, the right fielder, leading it off for South Grand Prairie, who looks at a fastball low. Mustang outfield today. Rosenblum in left. Wahlberg in center. Fastball down 2-0. And Jet Arrington in right field. Ben Kessler is your designated hitter. 2-0 delivery is fastball grounded to short. Erickson scoops, throws, got him. This is a Mustang infield that's been fantastic all year long, particularly behind the pitching of Joris Schuler, who I mentioned earlier, 10 appearances this year, 8-0 record. The pitcher, Benny Emmons, comes up, first ball swinging, lifts one high into shallow right. Preston Van Zant backs up about 15 feet into the grass in right and makes the catch. So quickly, 2 down here in the top of the second. That'll bring up the second baseman, Mike Gonzalez. Fastball strike from Schuler on the inside corner. Schuler threw 23 pitches in the first inning unofficially. That's a lot of pitches for him. He typically good blend of pitching to contact and striking out folks. Now a fly ball into the gap in left center. Wahlberg with a nice running catch in the gap. And it is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pitch inning for Joris Schuler. He sets the Warriors down in order. We're through 1.5, tie ball game, 2-2. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the ballpark. Joris Schuler sets the Warriors down in order in the top of the second. Now it's senior Preston Van Zant leading it off for the Mustangs. Van Zant enjoying a fantastic senior season. We mentioned 987 fielding percentage out there at second base. Doing great things all year. Chopper. Emmons off the mound. Fields, third base side, throws and got him. Nice play by Emmons. Quickly 1 down, and that'll bring up Nicholas Burlbaugh, the senior first baseman. Fastball in the eyes of Burlbaugh, taken for ball one. Thanks again for joining us on a beautiful sun-splashed day here in North Texas. Fastball from Emmons is high, 2-0. One thing about the earlier start, lots of students in attendance here today for J.J. Pearce. Crowd still filing in, but it's a good one. Fastball catches the inside corner, 2-1 to Burlbaugh. Fastball is chopped to the first baseman, Kratchmer, who flips underhanded to Emmons. So it'll be a 3-1 put out there, 2 down now. Clearly you can see by those first two plays here in the bottom of the second that Benny Emmons has good athletic ability, so to speak. A lot of spring in his step, very fluid. He's going to be able to field his position well from the mound today. That is very clear. Curveball from Emmons is inside to Gavin Gold, who battled illness last week. Tough week for Gavin. Missed both games, or I should say all 3 games last week. He's back in. He's meant so much to this Mustang team, batting in the 9-hole for the first time all year. Clearly has lost some weight, but hopefully strong enough to do good things for the Mustangs today. He now takes fastball strike at the knees, 2-1. 2 outs, nobody aboard. Bottom 2, 2-2 tie between J.J. Pearce and South Grand Prairie. Now a ground ball foul down the first base line to even the count at 2. Yora Schuler faces 6 Warriors in the first, gives up 2 runs, and then sets them down in order in the second. Grand Prairie trying to do the exact same thing here. Swinging and a miss on a high fastball that was actually tipped, but the catcher for the Warriors puts the clamps on it. So the Warriors set the Mustangs down in order. It's 2-2 after 2. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We head to the 3rd inning and back to the top of the order. For the Warriors, it's Garrett Williams. Williams with a sharp single in the first, and now he rockets one past a diving Gavin Gold. And down the line, he's digging for second, and he will make it with a double. So Garrett Williams with a hot bat here for the Warriors. Just wasted no time, a sharp ground ball. Gold made a nice attempt, but nothing he could do there. That ball was by him before he knew what was going on. That'll bring up the center fielder, Tyler McShane, who walked in the first inning. And a changeup strike on the outside corner. Schuler took a little off that one. It found the outside corner. Stacks up to be a great series, folks. These two teams are pretty evenly matched on paper, and glad you joined us. Curveball, one hop to Vincent. Looks at the runner, throws the goal. They've got him in a hot box. Erickson has to go high to catch it. Now running, and he tags the runner out, but the batter, McShane, is able to advance to second. But a nice play by the Mustang defense to keep the Warriors from reaching third base there. So it'll be a fielder's choice for Tyler McShane, and he'll advance to second on the hot box. And a nice play by Wyatt Erickson as he has to go airborne to keep that ball from going awry. And then Erickson was eventually able to track Garrett Williams down and tag him out. So one down, runner at second. Fastball strike on the outside corner to the third baseman, Tony Garza, who shakes his head in disagreement. 0-1 to him. Again, Mustangs, the runner-up in 8-6A. The Warriors 3 seed out of 7-6A. These two teams will resume action tomorrow at South Grand Prairie. Fastball low, Rogers, nice stop. 1-1 count. As we mentioned earlier, Lake Highlands is taking on the 7-6A champ, Mansfield Lake Ridge. That's at 7 o'clock tonight at Grand Prairie, so neutral site there. Waxahachie and Skyline get it on at Waxahachie. That's a 5 o'clock start. Fastball from Schuler, strike on the outside corner, 1-2. Of course, the last matchup is the 8-6A champion, Duncanville High. They face Mansfield. That's also a neutral site game. It'll be played at Irving MacArthur tonight at 7:30. So the Mustangs and the Warriors, the first 8-6A, 7-6A playoff matchup. Fastball inside, 2-2 to Garza. Schuler just missing off the outside corner, and the count is full. Cole Kratchmer, the first baseman, is in the on-deck circle. He'll bat here in a moment unless there's a double play turn. Not likely, as there's not a force. Schuler uncomfortable with McShane, looks him back to second. Schuler's offering his line down the left field line, but foul. Count remains full. Schuler unofficially 23 pitches in the first inning. Then a very, very quick 6-pitch inning in the second. This will be his 10th pitch here. Strike 3, caught Garza looking. So for the second time today, Schuler strikes out Garza, this time looking, and there are 2 down now for the Warriors here in the top of the third. So Kratchmer bats for the Warriors. He'll look at a curveball that's off the plate, ball 1, to even the count at 1. Kratchmer with a sharp single up the middle in his first at bat, driving home the initial run of this ball game. Another opportunity here with McShane. Off-speed pitch stays outside, 2-1. It was a 2-1 pitch that Kratchmer lined up the middle in the first inning. He faces that same count here. Schuler at the belt. Deals. High fly ball. This is in the field of play. Erickson has a beat on it. Circles around. Oh! And he lost sight of it. It is off his head. And Kratchmer is into second. Again, a high sky here with the 1 p.m. start. And Erickson looked like he had a beat on it, but lost it in the high sky, and it glanced off at Tara Grubbs. Gonna find sure the lead at 3-2. So the shortstop, Josh Steffen, will step in for the Warriors. So unfortunate there for the Mustangs, just a tough break. These 1 o'clock starts are always tough. Now fastball is by Rogers and up against the net, and that will allow Kretschmer to take third base. So 1-0 to Steffen. 3 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the Warriors here in the early go. Fastball is down 2-0. 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 errors for the Mustangs. Again, tough break there, as Erickson clearly just lost that one in the sun or high sky. Fastball strike by Schuler, 2-1. It's been a steady breeze blowing from right to left and somewhat from right field in. And now the Mustang crowd groans as a Schuler fastball barely misses and is called a ball. 3-1. Schuler at the belt deals. Fastball down and away, and Steffen has drawn a 2-out walk, so runners at the corners. And that will bring up the catcher for South Grand Prairie. That's Nicholas Chavez. Chavez, the only sophomore. Oh, excuse me, this is not Chavez. This is Jason Duke. So the catcher, Jackson Duke. Jackson Duke, forgive me. We'll get it right here shortly. So Jackson Duke, the catcher, steps in with runners at the corners, 2 down. Warriors recapture the lead. They lead it 3-2. Line drive into left, base hit, and Kretschmer jogs home. Warriors lead it 4-2. First impressions of this Warrior team, they're an aggressive and good hitting bunch. So runners at first and second, the Warriors now lead it 4-2, and it'll be the right fielder Colton Wilburn for South Grand Prairie. So the Mustangs being tested here early in this 8-6A, 7-6A matchup. Fastball from Schuler is outside, ball 1. Wilburn grounded a 2-0 fastball to Erickson to lead off the second inning. Now Coach Rumfield saunters out to the mound, and it's an all-hands-on-deck meeting out there. We'll keep it here for the moment. Back to action. Runners at first and second, 2 in for the Warriors here in the top of the third. They lead it 4-2. 1-0 count to the right fielder Wilburn. Curveball sliced foul down the right field line, 1-1. South Grand Prairie High School, established in 1969. Curveball stays up from Schuler. 2-1. So these schools were, well, I should say they opened their doors about the same time in the late 60s. Currently about the same enrollment, around 2,400 souls roam the halls of both these schools. High pop-up behind second. Vincent backs out and is now called off by the center fielder, Burke Wahlberg. He makes the catch, but the Warriors plate two more. They lead it 4-2 after 2.5. We'll be right back. Bottom three. Thanks for joining us on FridayNightGlory.com. John Brewer along with Randy Edwards. Back to the top of the order for the Mustangs. It's Burke Wahlberg, the sophomore, struck out looking to lead the game off for the Mustangs. First ball swing, fouled back to the net. 0-1. We mentioned that South Grand Prairie is the 3 seed out of 7-6A. We'll tell you more about them in just a moment. Fastball outside, 1-1. The Warriors were 9-5 in district play this year, 17-13 overall. 1-1 pitch is inside, almost hit Wahlberg. 2-1. Much like these Mustangs. Foul ball off the bat of Wahlberg, evens the count at 2. Art Sonato is the head coach, and a well-decorated head coach at that. We'll get to that more in a moment. 2-2 delivery from Emmons. Grounded at third. Garza picks it up at the back. Crossbody throw. Got him by a half step. Nice play by Garza at third. He scooped that one up right about even with the bag and made a sidearm throw across the diamond and got a speedy Burke Wahlberg by half a step. The similarities between these teams are almost endless, right down to what we just talked about. Both these teams had very good seasons last year, made it to the second round of the playoffs where they were eliminated. Good years again this year. Mustangs finishing second in their district. Warriors finishing third. Wyatt Erickson fouls a Benny Emmons pitch back, 0-1. First impressions of this Warriors squad. This is a confident, well-coached baseball team. This is going to be a tough series. Curveball, slap to first and through the wickets of Kratchmer. And in his defense, that ball was a rocket off the bat of Wyatt Erickson. You don't see Erickson go to the opposite field very often, But he slapped one right through the wickets of Kratchmer. We'll see how they score that one. And it looks as though they have indeed given Kratchmer an error. I think he did get a glove on it, although, boy, that's tough for he and Wyatt Erickson both, as that could have easily been called a hit. So Erickson at first with one down, and Ben Kessler takes curveball strike on the inside corner, and he did not like that call, and I don't blame him. 0-1 to Kessler. Throw over. Erickson back on his stomach. Another throw over, and Groundhog Day as Erickson is back in easily. Oh, 1 pitch to Kessler. Fastball outside. 1-1. 2 seems to be the operative number today, as the Warriors have scored 2 runs in an inning twice. The Mustangs have done it once. Mustangs with 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 errors so far. Also 2 errors by South Grand Prairie. But I would not call it a sloppy game by either team. High fly ball down the line and left, and that is carrying a mile, but about 30 feet foul. Boy, Kessler put one up there in the jet stream, and it went with the wind, which is blowing from right to left. Not a huge wind, but a meaningful wind, I'll call it. And Kessler sent that one a mile high, almost over the fence, down the left field line. It's 1-2 count to him. Fastball, grounder to Garza at third. The short way to second, back to first, and Kessler beats it. So it's a fielder's choice from Ben Kessler, and a nice play there by Garza, who has flashed some glove skill here in the bottom of the third. That'll bring up the catcher, Bo Rogers. Rogers does have a big stick. If he can send one airborne, he would have a chance here today, the way the wind is blowing. Mustangs could use one here. Snap throw from the catcher down to first, and Kessler back just in time. Pitch was a ball, so 1-0 to Rogers. 4-2 Warriors here in the bottom of the third. Fantastic playoff matchup for you here on FridayNightGlory.com. Curveball brushes Rogers back. 1-1. Emmons with a long stare to home plate. Working from the stretch, fastball grounded to second. Gonzalez, the short way to the shortstop Stephan, and that'll do it for the Mustangs here in the third inning. So nothing across. The Mustangs trail it 4-2 after 3. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Mustang Ballpark. We head to the fourth inning. It'll be the 8-9-1 hitters for Art Sonato's South Grand Prairie Warriors. Line drive down the line and left is foul. This is a feisty Warrior bunch. They're aggressive at the plate. And a tall task for the Mustangs here in the first round of the playoffs. Mustangs have advanced past the first round in the playoffs the past 2 years. They look to do the same this year. Fastball from Schuler, strike quickly ahead of Emmons, 0-2. You remember the last 2 years the Mustangs have defeated the Lakeview Centennial Patriots. Chopper to third. Gold with a nice stab. Wheels, throws, gets him. Wow, what a play by the third baseman, Gavin Gold, who, as we mentioned, has been out ill for a while. He looked anything but ill there as he had to cut a high chopper off. Gloved it, wheeled around, turned a 360 and threw a rocket launcher to Burlbaugh at first base to retire Emmons. Now a bunt down the third baseline. Rogers picks, throws, got him on an unbelievable play by Bo Rogers and Nicholas Burlbaugh. What a play! Wow! That was an unbelievable play. So what amounted to a bunt about 25 feet down the third base line. Bo Rogers with a fantastic play to get to it and throw. The throw was low, and Burlbaugh dug it out on a fantastic play. Bang, bang at first base, and that's just a play you don't see a high school squad turn very often. So 2 down here with nobody aboard, and back to the top of the order. Garrett Williams has been swinging a hot bat today. Curveball, line drive, base hit. That's 3 hits on the day for Garrett Williams. Mustangs have already seen enough of Williams to last him a lifetime. Just 3 2/3 into this one, and Garrett Williams has already taken his pound of flesh from the Mustangs. He's aboard with a 2-out single. That brings up Tyler McShane, the center fielder. Fastball strike from Schuler on the outside corner. McShane has reached both times today, but without a hit either time. Reached on a walk in the first and came around to score. Reached on a fielder's choice in the third and also came around to score. Schuler throws over, but Williams is back in. 0-1 count to McShane. Schuler at the belt, glances over, throws. Fastball down, 1-1. So back-to-back fantastic defensive plays by the Mustangs has this inning somewhat in check. Runner goes, line drive to right field. In front of Arrington, fields it. The runner will have to stop at second. But this is a very hot-hitting Warrior team right now. Aggressive at the plate, and they are doing a nice job of barreling up these Joris Schuler pitches. So Schuler being tested like he hasn't been tested really all year, even in the 2 appearances that Joris had where he didn't get a decision. I don't believe anyone has hit the ball on him like these Warriors are doing today. 1-0 count to the third baseman, Garza. So the 1-2 hitters doing most of the damage here for the Warriors so far today. 1-0 pitch, skied high into left center. That ball is carrying. Rosenblum offers at it at the base of the fence, but can't come up with it, and 2 runs are in. Boy, that ball was what looked like to be a harmless pop-up. And with the way the wind's blowing, that ball just carried all the way to the base of the fence, and Rosenblum offered but couldn't come up with it in left center, and it's a 2-run double for Garza. We apologize. We lost track of that ball, I know, on the play there. We're doing our best here. We'll try not to miss the next one. Runner at second, 6-2 lead now for the Warriors. Schuler with a strike to the first baseman, Cole Kretschmer. A 1 pitch is lined out to short, but it's a lazy liner and an easy play for Wyatt Erickson, who hauls it in. And for the third time today, the Warriors have plated 2 runs. They lead it 6-2. We're halfway through this one at Mustang Ballpark. 6-2 Warriors. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Mustang Ballpark. We're midway through this ball game. The South Grand Prairie Warriors have gotten the attention of the J.J. Pearce Mustangs. They lead it 6-2 on the road here at J.J. Pearce. Benny Emmons, the Warrior pitcher, starts left fielder Jordan Rosenblum off with a fastball high. It'll be the 5, 6, 7 hitters for J.J. Pearce. 1-0 pitch is a fastball strike on the outside corner. Art Sonato is in his 4th year as head coach here at South Grand Prairie. 23rd year overall as a head coach. 413 lifetime wins for Coach Sonato. So an accomplished coach. We'll get to more of his accolades here in a moment. 2-1 count to Rosenblum, who leads it off for the Mustangs. Fastball is fouled back, 2-2. Sonato in his career has been the district coach of the year 5 times, the Arlington Morning News coach of the year in '98, the Fort Worth Star Telegram coach of the year in 1999. Has averaged 19 wins per year in his 23-year career. So this is a well-coached ball club that the Mustangs face. Coach Sonato has 34 lifetime playoff victories, and his teams have made the playoffs in 17 of his 23 years. Fastball high fills the count to Rosenblum. So a nice job by Rosenblum working the count full. He will face his 7th pitch here from Emmons to lead off the bottom of the 4th for the Mustangs. Fastball fouled back. Payoff pitch. Fastball fouled back. So Rosenblum doing a nice job working Emmons here. This will be the ninth pitch in this at bat. Swung on and missed, so a nice job by Emmons. That looked to be some sort of cutter, either a curveball or a cutter, and Rosenblum had to reach for it, couldn't come up with it, so it's a strikeout here to lead off the bottom of the fourth, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Jet Arrington. Fastball from Emmons bounces in, 1-0 to Arrington. Staying on the subject of Coach Sonato, he sent 103 of his student athletes to play college baseball over the years. Fastball strike from Emmons at the knees. Not only that, but 7 have been drafted by Major League Baseball organizations. So this is a well plugged in coach who's actually an active scout for the Toronto Blue Jays and has done some scouting for several Major League clubs. Needless to say, this is a well coached team. Fly ball to right, and the right fielder Colton Wilburn backs up a step or two and makes the catch. So 2 up, 2 down for the Mustangs here in the bottom of the fourth. That'll bring up the second baseman, Preston Vinzant. First pitch to Vinzant is grounded to first. Kratchmer comes up with it, pitches over to Emmons, and it's another 3-1 putout. And Emmons sets the Mustangs down in order here in the fourth. So after 4, the Warriors lead at 6-2. We'll take a break. We'll be back with the 5th inning in just a moment. Welcome back. We head to the top of the 5th. South Grand Prairie 6, J.J. Pearce 2. It is the 5, 6, 7 hitters for Coach Sonato. Josh Steffen, the shortstop, leads it off. Fastball down, ball 1. One-0 pitch, just off the plate, 2-0. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hitters for South Grand Prairie have been kept in check so far by Schuler. Just 1 base hit, but the top portion of that order has been tough. Schuler deals fastball inside. It is 3-0 to Steffen. 3-0 pitch. Schuler takes a little off, and it is true. 3-1. Nice crowd on hand here at J.J. Pearce. Fastball fouled back to fill the count. So nice job by Schuler battling back after falling down 3-0 here. Stefan had a sacrifice RBI fly in the first, walked in the third, and now takes ball 4. So he walks again here in the 5th. That'll bring up the catcher, Jackson Duke. So Warriors with the upper hand midway through this ball game. In an 8-6A, 7-6A, 2-3 matchup. Fastball low. 1-0 to Duke. One 0 pitch is off the plate. Outside 2-0. Sunny day, but partly cloudy at the moment. In fact, a lot of clouds in the area now. It was nice and sunny earlier, but we have some cloud cover here. Just bumping up on 80 degrees here on May 3rd. Very nice weather for this playoff matchup. 2-0 pitch is a curveball lifted high into the sky, and Jed Arrington comes on about 5 steps and makes the catch in right field. So 1 down. That'll bring up the right fielder, Colton Wilburn. Longtime PA voice of the Mustangs, Woody Berry, in the background. Fantastic job that he does, and just feel like you're at a major league ballpark when you're out here and you hear the way he handles the pregame and the in-game PA announcing. Also makes some fantastic barbecue. Woody B's chopper, tough play for Gold, and it's off his glove. That's a hit all the way. Not much Gold could have done with that. In fact, it took a bad hop on him on the last hop. Crawled up his arm, but it was going to be a tough play anyway there. Colton Wilburn can get down the line, and Mustangs just seem to be having some bad luck today. Mustangs certainly get out of the top of the third, but for Wyatt Erickson losing a fly ball in the high Texas sky. Bunt attempt. Schuler off the mound, throws to third, got the lead runner. So it's a fielder's choice for the pitcher, Benny Emmons. Wilburn will move up to second, but they got the lead runner in Josh Stefan. So now 2 down and runners at first and second for the 9-hitter, Mike Gonzalez. So the Mustangs are out of the top of the third if they don't have the hard luck of a blinding sky for Wyatt Erickson. Warriors end up recapturing the lead at 4-2 at the time, and now 6-2. Certainly outplaying the Mustangs to this point, but tough luck as well that the gap is 4 and not 2. Listen to me making excuses for the Mustangs, but it's how I feel. Gonzalez, line shot, base hit. Arrington gets it on one hop and throws to the first baseman, Burlbaugh, who was in a relay throw position there, and makes the catch. So everyone moves up a bag. No chance for Wilburn to come around to score. But just another example of this hot hitting and aggressive Warrior lineup. And it's back to the top of the order to Garrett Williams, and the Mustangs have not retired Williams all day long. He has 3 hits already. And now Coach Rumfield will make his way out to the mound. We'll see if he is going to pull Joris Schuler or have him face Garrett Williams. Certainly some strategy on the mind of Coach Rumfield. We'll keep it right here. The Warrior coach has a word with Garrett Williams. I imagine it went something like this: keep doing what you're doing. As 2 singles and a double already off the bat of Garrett Williams. Coach Rumfield may have reminded Joris Schuler of who is at the plate and to maybe try something different this time. We'll see what happens here. Nowhere to put him. Bases are full. 6-2 Warriors, 2 down. Curveball strike. And I am just betting that Coach Rumfield suggested a first pitch curveball right there. And good for him if he did, as it's 0-1 to Williams. Schuler curveball again. Just misses. Small strike zone today out of the home plate umpire. As I said earlier, that might lead to some runs. We indeed have lots of runs today. 8 in total. Curveball lined to center, and it's down for a base hit. Wahlberg comes up with it, but it is 2 more runs in for the Warriors. My goodness, the Mustangs just can't figure out what to do with Garrett Williams. The Mustang killer today. Couple of RBI for Williams there. It is 8-2 Warriors. Mike Gonzalez made it around to third, so it's runners at the corners with 2 down. And Coach Rumfield will make his way out to the mound and will pull Joris Schuler here, who's been fantastic for the Mustangs all year. Tough outing today against a strong hitting lineup for the Warriors. So he'll hit the showers with an 8-2 deficit, and he will be replaced by freshman hurler Jack Livingstone. So we'll let Livingstone take his warm-up tosses here. It's 8-2 Warriors in the top of the 5th. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It'll be the center fielder Tyler McShane to face the freshman Jack Livingstone. First ball hitting into the gap in left center. At least, well, I shouldn't say at least, the 2 runners that were aboard will both score. It is now 10-2 Warriors. So, wow. Just wow. Mustangs have only lost 2 games at home this season, and the Warriors have come in and are crusading here. Now an excuse me swing that lands in the perfect spot, but Wyatt Erickson makes a nice strong throw to first to get Tony Garza. So a long top of the 5th is finally over, but 4 runs across for the Warriors. They lead it 10-2. We'll take a break. We'll see you in just a moment. Welcome back. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Mustangs in bad need of some runs here as the Warriors have jumped all over the Mustangs here today in the first of a 3-game set playoff matchup. And Benny Emmons hits Nicholas Burlbaugh in the hip with a first pitch fastball. So a leadoff runner for the Mustangs. Mustangs have not had a hit since Jordan Rosenblum's RBI single in the first inning. Wyatt Erickson had a nice shot that maybe could have been ruled a hit, but it was ruled an error as it went between the legs of the first baseman Kratchmer earlier, but officially just 1 hit. And now a snap throw down to first, and they catch Nicholas Burlbaugh. So a nice throw there by Jackson Duke, and it caught Burlbaugh a little too far off the bag at first. So the leadoff hit by pitch goes for naught as Jackson Duke, with a nice defensive play, score it 2-3. And it is a 1-0 count to Gavin Gold, who hits in the 9 slot. Squares to bunt, then pulls his bat away, but it's a fastball strike on the outside corner. Just doesn't feel to be the Mustangs' day today so far, but of course, South Grand Prairie's had a lot to do with that. Now a curveball swung on and missed. The bat coming out of Gold's hands, landing about 10 feet behind home plate. The 1-2 count. One-two pitch is a curveball lined foul down the right field line. So a couple of base runners for the Mustangs since the first inning, but not a hit since Jordan Rosenblum's RBI single in the first. So Benny Emmons, the pitcher for South Grand Prairie, doing a nice job keeping this Mustangs lineup at bay. 2-2 count to Gold. 1 down, nobody aboard here for the Mustangs in the bottom of the 5th. Fastball chopped out to second. Gonzalez, gloves, throws, got him. Two down now. Back to the top of the order for sophomore Burke Wahlberg. Emmons takes a little off a fastball, and it is a opening pitch strike to Wahlberg. Warriors 10 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors. Mustangs 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 errors as we play here in the bottom of the fifth. Line drive past the glove of Stefan, and Wahlberg is aboard with a 2-out single. That'll bring up the shortstop, Wyatt Erickson, captain of this 21-9-1 Mustang squad. And Erickson walked and scored in the first inning and had that nice hit through the wickets of the first baseman, Kratchmer, in the third inning. Bats again with a runner aboard and 2 outs here in the home half of the fifth. Fastball outside, ball 1. 8-run deficit here for the Mustangs. That's the first time that's happened all year long. In fact, the Mustangs, outside of what amounted to a showcase game last Saturday against Rockwall, the Mustangs have been in really every game they've played this year. Now, Erickson takes a strike. 1-1 count to him. This has been a very competitive Mustang team. Most of the, well, really all of the losses have been close with the, and now ground ball up the middle, gloved by Stefan. He goes the short way to Gonzalez, so it's a fielder's choice that ends the inning here. So the Mustangs fail to score in the fifth inning. The Warriors lead it 10-2 through 5. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the ballpark. We head to the top of the sixth. It'll be the first baseman, Cole Kratchmer, leading it off for South Grand Prairie, the only batter in the lineup that did not hit in that 4-run fifth inning. And he will face the freshman, Jack Livingstone, who came on in relief in the fifth inning for the starter, Joris Schuler. 1-0 count to Kretschmer, and it is a fastball ball. 2-0. Kretschmer singled in the first, reached on an error in the third, and lined out to short to end the fourth. So his fourth plate appearance of the day, and it is now 3-0 to Kretschmer. Mustangs in the unfamiliar position of being behind at home. 3-0 pitch is fastball strike on the outside corner. 3-1. No changes to the Mustang defense. Fastball gets away from Livingstone, and it's a 5-pitch walk to open the 6th, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Josh Steffen. Linzel Rummins comes on to pinch run for the first baseman, Cole Kretschmer. It'll be the shortstop, Josh Steffen, batting for South Grand Prairie, who has been in control here most of the way at J.J. Pearce in this opening game of a best-of-3 set, 8-6A, 7-6A matchup. Fastball is down from Livingstone, 1-0. Pitch is a fastball strike, 1-1. It appears that Coach Rumfield is salting Hunter Greenwell away for a start tomorrow afternoon at South Grand Prairie. The sophomore lefty pitched well for the Mustangs all season long. I am virtually certain that he will be towing the rubber for the Mustangs tomorrow afternoon at South Grand Prairie. High pop-up in the infield, and this has been a tough sky. Erickson makes the catch. And there is one down here in the top of the 6th. Jackson Duke, the Warrior catcher, now stepping in. One down, one aboard, 10-2 Warriors. Fastball strike on the outside corner to Duke. Duke lined out to center, had an RBI single, and flew out to right. So 1 for 3 with an RBI single for the catcher. Curveball is in the dirt, 1-1. One delivery. Fastball lifted high in the infield. Gavin Gold has a beat on it at third. Struggles, but makes the catch. Boy, this is a tough sky here this afternoon, and just tough going on these high pop-ups for the Mustangs today. But Erickson and Gold are up to the task. And there are 2 down with a runner at first for the number 7 hitter, Colton Wilburn, the right fielder for South Grand Prairie. Ball in the dirt, backhanded by Rogers, throw out to second. Vincent applies the tag, and they get Rummins stealing. So a nice play by Bo Rogers. The ball got away from him, but not by much. Rummins saw that and took off for second. And Rogers with a nice throw down that was gloved by Vinzanti applied the tag. And that will do it. So Livingstone faces just one over the minimum here in the top of the 6th, but the Warriors still owners of a big lead. They lead it 10-2. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Mustang Ballpark. South Grand Prairie Warriors have invaded the campus of J.J. Pearce and lead this opening game of a best of three matchup 10-2. Benny Emmons has gone all the way for South Grand Prairie, and he fires a fastball strike. DH Ben Kessler leads it off for the Mustangs. One of the three Mustang hits today. Fastball is chopped foul. Emmons quickly ahead of Kessler, 0-2. 0-2 deliveries, a curveball popped up by Kessler back behind third, and a nice play by Tony Garza about 40 feet behind the bag. Over the shoulder catch. So South Grand Prairie Warriors just playing good baseball today, folks. They lead the Mustangs 10-2. One down here in the bottom of the sixth, and it is the catcher, Bo Rogers, coming to the plate. First ball swing, strike. Rogers flew out to left in the first and hit into a 4-6 inning-ending fielder's choice in the third. Now bats with nobody aboard and one out in the sixth. Line shot down the line and right, but foul. 0-2. So Benny Emmons doing a nice job for the Warriors today, holding this potent Mustang offense to 2 runs. He is pitching to contact today and doing a nice job of it. One hop shot out to short, and Steffen throws across the diamond to Crutchmer, and Rogers is retired. So Rogers barreled that one up, but it was a one-hopper to Steffen, and the Warriors shortstop makes a nice play. So 2 down, nobody aboard for Jordan Rosenblum. Rosenblum with one of the 3 Mustang hits and the only Mustang with an RBI today. Big swing and a miss at Emmons' initial offering. The 0-1 pitch from Emmons is a fastball strike, 0-2. So for the third consecutive hitter, Emmons is ahead 0-2. He's been all around the strike zone. Mustangs just having trouble doing much with him. And with nobody aboard, he pitches out of the windup and wastes one. Fastball outside, 1-2. Now the sun peeks back through the clouds, and beautiful day here for baseball, about 80 degrees. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Benny Emmons and the Warriors shut the Mustangs down in order in the bottom of the 6th. Mustangs in trouble here, folks. Trail at 10-2 after 6. We'll be right back. Welcome back, folks. Thanks for joining us on FridayNightGlory.com. John Brewer, along with engineer producer Randy Edwards. First game of a best of three set between J.J. Pearce and South Grand Prairie. It's been all South Grand Prairie here today, and it is the freshman Jack Livingstone on the hill as we enter the seventh. He'll face the 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Warriors, all of whom reached and scored in the fifth inning. Now Wilburn takes a strike, 1-1 to him. These two teams will play again tomorrow at South Grand Prairie. No, foul ball down the third baseline, 1-2 to Wilburn. Unless something drastic changes, the Mustangs will be playing for their very lives tomorrow afternoon. And another tip foul at the plate, 1-2 to Wilburn. Mustang defense has remained the same all game long with regard to the non-pitchers. Fastball skips in 2-2. So it's Gold, Erickson, Vinzant, Burlbaugh around the infield. Bo Rogers, the junior backstop, is still in the game. And Rosenblum, Wahlberg, and Arrington in the outfield across from left to right. Fastball is down to fill the count out. 3-2. Tough day for the Mustangs here. Certainly have not faced any big deficits at home all year. In fact, I believe a 2-run deficit is the most these Mustangs have faced all year. Actually, I believe they faced a bigger deficit against Belton in a game that they came back to tie in a tournament game earlier this year. But besides that, and now a fastball misses just off the plate, and Bo Rogers took a step back to throw the ball around the horn, thought that was strike three, and the home plate umpire disagrees, so it's a leadoff walk to Wilburn, and that'll bring up the pitcher, Benny Emmons, with one aboard and nobody out here in the top of the seventh. Fastball from Livingstone is a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Curveball, check swing, strike. 0-2. Nice curveball there by the freshman. Jack Livingstone works out of the stretch. Another curveball, caught the inside corner, and he got Emmons looking. Emmons did not like it. So one down, one aboard, and that'll bring up the 9-hitter, Mike Gonzalez, the second baseman for Coach Sonato. Curveball is outside for ball one. 10 runs on 11 hits, 2 errors for the visiting Warriors. 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors for the Mustangs. One 0 pitch to Gonzalez is a fastball outside, 2-0. Fastball down, 3-0. Nice cool breeze blowing here at the ballpark. Partly cloudy day. The weather is threatening. That's why this one was moved up to 1 o'clock today. It just been a beautiful day for baseball. Just a tough day for the Mustangs. Livingstone is true with a fastball. 3-1 to Gonzalez. Garrett Williams is in the on-deck circle. He's the leadoff hitter. Mustangs haven't retired him yet. Now a curveball is outside, and it's a walk. So one down, runners at first and second, and Garrett Williams, the designated hitter today for the Warriors. My apologies, he's actually the left fielder today for South Grand Prairie. He fouls one off here. 0-1. 0-1 pitch, base hit through the right side. Arrington up with it quickly, and a nice shot home to Bo Rogers, and that'll keep Colton Wilburn at third base. But my goodness, a 5-hit game for Garrett Williams. Mustangs just no answer for him today, and what a day for that young man. So the bases are loaded with one out. That'll bring up the center fielder, Tyler McShane. Off-speed pitch is outside and down, 1-0. Tyler McShane has reached and scored 3 times today. The only time he didn't was when he had a double into the gap in left center and drove in 2 runs. So Tyler McShane has been right in the middle of the Warrior production today. And 2-0 pitch from Livingstone is a fastball strike. 2-1. 2-1 pitch is lifted high to left. The ball has been carrying there all day, and that ball is gone. It is a grand slam for the center fielder, Tyler McShane. What a day for these Warrior bats. That certainly did not appear to be a home run off the bat, but again, the ball is really carrying to left and left center, and that one just kept going, folks. Jordan Rosenblum gave chase, but eventually looked over his shoulder and watched it fly over the fence. So the Warriors have opened a can here on the J.J. Pearce Mustangs, and they lead it 14-2. Here in the top of the 7th. That'll bring up the third baseman, Tony Garza. One 0 pitch swung on and missed. 1-1. Garza struck out in the first, struck out in the third. Had an RBI double in the fourth and grounded out to short in the fifth. So 1 for 4 for him today. And a Livingstone offer skips in. So the Warrior bats have been singing today here in North Dallas. 2-1 pitch is strike call on the inside corner. Generous call by the home plate umpire, as he says 14 runs may be enough here. Anything near the plate is a strike. 2-2 count. Curveball lifted foul. Still just one down here in the inning. Fastball slapped foul down the third base line. 2-2. Curveball is high to fill the count. 3-2. Payoff pitch from Livingstone lifted high into foul territory. Mustangs will give chase, but that's going to be beyond the fence and on top of the batting nets. So the Garza at bat will continue. So it'll be at least a 9-pitch at bat for Garza. Fastball is high, and it's a 1-out walk. And that'll bring Coach Rumfield out to the mound. Mustangs just trying to control the damage at this point. This Warrior squad has come in and tallied 14 runs on 13 hits today off this Mustang pitching staff, which has been good all year long. This is what happens sometimes in the playoffs. You got good on good, right? So something's got to give, and the Warriors are getting the best of it today here at J.J. Pearce. Well, Coach Rumfield's going to leave the freshman in. See if he can't finish this one out. It'll be the first baseman, Cole Kratchmer. Kratchmer singled in the first, reached on an error in the third, lined out to short in the fourth, walked in the sixth, and was eventually, his pinch runner was eventually caught stealing. So bats again here with one aboard, 1 out, 4 already in on the Tyler McShane grand slam. Baptism by fire for the freshman righty. Facing a tough Warrior lineup here. Mustangs obviously just trying to get through this one and reorganize and come out with some fight tomorrow. Fly ball to center field. Burke Wahlberg is all over it. Makes the catch, so 2 down now. In the top of the 7th, that'll bring up the shortstop, Josh Steffen. Livingstone with a curveball outside to Steffen. 1-0 count. The Warriors have removed the drama here today by banging out 13 hits. Pop fly to right field. Arrington waves everybody off. Oh, no, he faked me out. That was Wahlberg calling Arrington off and makes the catch. So at long last, the top of the 7th is over. 14-2 Warriors. Last chance for the Mustangs coming up in just a moment. Welcome back to the ballpark. Last chance for the Mustangs. The book is closed on senior pitcher Benny Emmons. He goes 6 innings, gives up just 3 hits, 2 runs, although just one of those earned. Fantastic performance. Exactly what head coach Art Sonato was looking for out of the senior. It'll be another senior, Cooper Ferris, coming on to pitch the 7th inning for South Grand Prairie, and it'll be the 6, 7, 8 hitters for the Mustangs. It's right fielder Jet Arrington leading it off against Ferris. First ball, swing, sharp ground ball up the middle, base hit. And Grandma Honey Arrington in the house tonight to watch her grandson slap a sharp ground ball up the middle for a base hit. And as I say that, the sun comes out again in all its brilliance. Beautiful day for baseball here. Tough day for the Mustangs, though. Curveball from Ferris is a strike. Preston Vinzant, the senior second baseman, comes up to the plate, and no doubt the home plate umpire's strike zone has expanded here with the 12-run deficit. 0-1 pitch to Vinzant is a fastball strike. Both of those questionable, but again, no doubt the strike zone has been expanded. 0-2 count to Vinzant. It's a curveball that gets away from Duke, and Arrington will jog up to second base. So the force has been removed. 1-2 count to Vinzant, and now Duke jogs out to have a word with Ferris, as the battery was definitely not on the same page there. Ferris will stamp that out with a quick visit on the mound, and we are back to business. Couple of ground ball outs for Vinzant here today in the second and the fourth. He bats here again in the seventh with a runner at second base. 1-2 pitch, ground ball through the left side. The ball now gets away from Garrett Williams, and Arrington thought about coming home, but Mustangs don't need 1 run, they need 12, so Coach Rumfield will wisely hold Arrington up at first, but it'll be a base hit for Preston Vinzant. So runners at the corners here, and that'll bring up the, well, it is a pinch hitter now, Jackson Weiss, coming in to bat for the senior Nicholas Burlbaugh. And Weiss still limbering up, stretching out those hamstrings as he gets ready to step in against Ferris. Runners at the corners, nobody out. Now snap throw to first, and Vinzant back in safely. Fastball fouled off by Weiss. 0-1. Pinch hitter Hunter Greenwell is in the on-deck circle for the Mustangs. Curveball way outside by Ferris, 1-1. One pitch, curveball, fouled back, 1-2. 1-2 pitch is fouled back. Jackson Weiss hanging tough. 14-2 South Grand Prairie here in the opening game of a best-of-3 set between these two teams. Mustangs, the 2 seed out of 8-6A. The Warriors, the 3 seed out of 7-6A, looking anything but like a 3 seed here. Waxahachie and Mansfield Lake Ridge finishing ahead of this bunch in 7-6A. 1-2 pitch is a curveball chopped toward third. Garza comes in and can't make a play. So it's an RBI infield single by Jackson Weiss. Vinzan will move up to second, and it is now 14-3. So that'll bring up Hunter Greenwell, likely the starting pitcher tomorrow afternoon for the Mustangs. He'll step in here as a pinch hitter for Gavin Gold, take a few cuts. You might remember Greenwell came on late in the season, had lots of productive at-bats, lots of RBI to help himself as he was on the mound for several of those. He bats here with nobody out, runners at first and second, already one in for the Mustangs, but they trail it by the football score of 14-3. Now Greenwell uncomfortable with the amount of time that Ferris is taking and asks for time. Ferris working out of the stretch. Curveball catches the outside corner. Strike one. Sure wouldn't hurt the Mustangs to plate a few and get a little positive momentum going into tomorrow's survival game at South Grand Prairie. 0-1 pitch. Curveball grounded through the hole on the right side. And again, Coach Rumfield wisely being conservative over in the third base box is no reason to get it out on the base paths here while trailing by 11 runs. So he will hold Vinzan up at third. So the bases are loaded for Burke Wahlberg. So the Mustangs with more hits in this inning than they had combined coming into this inning. So now 7 hits on the game. They had just 3 coming in to the 7th inning. Back to the top of the order in Burke Wahlberg, and a fastball is outside and low, 1-0. And now Jackson Duke, the catcher, jogs out to have a word with Ferris. The wind is really starting to whip around a little bit. If Wahlberg can get one airborne, we might see our second grand slam of the day. And that would certainly change things here, as this has felt like the Warriors game all the way, but Mustangs threatening here, and it's a fastball strike from Ferris. 1-1 count to Wahlberg, who lined a single in his last trip up. He'll take a fastball outside. 2-1. So 4 consecutive singles for the Mustangs here. They have 1 in, still nobody out. Burke Wahlberg, the leadoff hitter, bats with the bases loaded. 2-1 count to him. Cooper Ferris working from the stretch, and he is outside with a fastball, 3-1. 3-1 bases loaded delivery. Fastball strike on the outside corner. Mustang contingent did not like that call. It'll fill the count. So Pearce versus Wahlberg here with the bases loaded and a full count. Fastball is outside and it's an RBI walk for Burke Wahlberg. So 2 in for the Mustangs here. Still nobody out. 14-4 Warriors now. And that'll bring up Wyatt Erickson. And believe me, folks, he's got the power to put one out of here, particularly with the way the wind is blowing today. The ball carrying to left. Erickson is a pull hitter, and he can hit for power. Again, leads this Mustang team in slugging percentage and extra base hits and RBI. So Erickson takes a curveball strike on Ferris's initial offering. He did not like that call. 0-1 count. Now the home plate umpire calls time. Didn't appear that Erickson asked for that. Maybe the home plate umpire got some sand in his eye or something. 0-1 count to Erickson. Fastball is outside, 1-1. 14-4, bases loaded, nobody out. 2 already in for the Mustangs here in the bottom of the 7th. One pitch is lined into the gap in right center. That's down and to the wall. Turnstile for the Mustangs. Erickson on his way to third. He's in with a headfirst slide and he's safe with a bases clearing RBI triple. Erickson's clutch hitting continues. His slugging continues. His RBI production continues. And Coach Sonato makes a trip out to the mound, and the Mustangs, the never say die Mustangs, have plated 5 runs here in the bottom of the 7th with nary an out. So 14-7 now. We continue to have a football score, but now 14-7. We'll keep it right here. And now in a rare move, you just won't see. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, this is the, yeah, you can. Yeah. My apologies, folks. It is Benny Emmons coming back out to pitch. UIL rules do allow this. He left the game after giving up 2 runs through 6 innings. One of those unearned, and the UIL rules do allow his reappearance here. He comes back out to pitch, so he will face the designated hitter, Ben Kessler, with a runner at third. 14-7 now. Curveball line to left. It's a base hit and an RBI for Kessler. So the Mustangs have sent 7 batters to the plate here in the bottom of the 7th. 6 of them have scored. 14-8 now. And it's the junior catcher, Bo Rogers, coming to the plate for the Mustangs. And he takes a fastball low from Emmons, 1-0. So lots of action here in this ball game. Emmons throws over to first, but Kessler is back in on his tummy. 22 combined runs on 22 combined hits. Sharp single through the right side by Rogers. And it's under the glove of the right fielder, and that'll allow Kessler to make it over to third base. Wow. This, folks, is what you call never say die. So a base hit off the bat of Bo Rogers, an error on Wilburn and right will allow Kessler to come around to third. And Brandon Winger will come on to pinch run for Rogers. So runners at the corners with nobody out still here in the seventh, and the Mustangs have batted around. And Jordan Rosenblum comes to the plate. Curveball strike from Emmons. Rosenblum did have an RBI single off Emmons in the first inning. He'll try to keep it going for the Mustangs here in the seventh. Fastball strike on the outside corner, 0-2. That appeared to be outside, but the home plate umpire says, no, sir, strike two. Fastball outside, and Emmons wasted one. 1-2. Sophomore Jet Arrington in the on-deck circle. It would be his second trip to the plate in this inning. Still nobody out. 6 in for the Mustangs. Rosenblum hangs tough and fouls one back. "14 runs, 13 hits, 3 errors for South Grand Prairie. 8 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors for the Mustangs. So lots of action here today. Never say die Mustangs battling away here in the bottom of the seventh. Fastball is popped up in the infield. Mike Gonzalez comes on and makes the catch. So the first out of the inning. Runners still at the corners. That'll bring up the sophomore Jet Arrington for the second time this inning. Jet Arrington got all this started with a base hit, a leadoff base hit in the seventh off Cooper Ferris. But starter Benny Emmons is back in the game. Now runner goes, throw out to second, and he is safe. The throw beat Winger down there. And the tag was applied, but apparently the ball came out of Gonzalez's glove, and the force has been removed. So runners at second and third now for Arrington, and it was a ball on the pitch. So 1-0 to Arrington, who asked for time here. "1-0 delivery is a fastball in the eyes of Arrington, 2-0. Pitch just off the inside corner, 3-0 to Arrington, who looks to reach base for the second time this inning. First base is open after that steal by Winger. 3-0 pitch. Arrington squares the bunt, pulls the bat back, and it's ball high. So the bases are loaded once again for Preston Vinzant. Vinzant has been a clutch hitter for the Mustangs all season long, and he bats with another big opportunity here. Vincent had a sharp base hit through the left side earlier in this inning. And a big opportunity for the young man here. Bases loaded, one out. Fastball strike on the outside corner from Emmons. 0-1. A 1 pitch from Emmons. Grounded into the hole. Stephan with a long throw to first, and he's safe. So Vincent continues his clutch play and legs out an infield single here. Everybody moves up a bag. That was a slow roller, but perfectly placed into the hole between third and short. And Stephan, when he collected the ball, Winger was already past him. He did half-heartedly try to tag out Winger, but really no chance there. Threw across the diamond, and Vincent legged it out for a base hit. That'll bring up the senior first baseman Nicholas Burlbaugh, who was pinch hit for earlier in the inning, but he reappears to face Emmons here with the bases loaded. Now 14-9. Fastball gets away from the catcher, but Winger will hold at third. It's ball one to Burlbaugh. So 7 across for the Mustangs here. It's not very often you hear that, 7 across in an inning and you still trail by 5, but that is the case here for the Mustangs. But the bases are loaded. The tie run is in the on-deck circle, folks. Fastball is down, 2-0. So Benny Emmons, the starter for South Grand Prairie, was removed prior to the beginning of this inning, and now, as UIL rules permit, he has been reinserted, but doesn't look quite the same. Fastball low and away, 3-0. And you can hardly blame the young man. It's not typical for you to leave a game and come back in, particularly after throwing somewhere in the neighborhood of 60 or 70 pitches prior to your exit. So 3-0 count here, nowhere to put him. Bases are loaded, 14-9. And a fastball is over the head of Nicholas Burlbaugh. It's an RBI walk. Eight runs in the inning. Now for the Mustangs. They trail it 14-10. So the bases still loaded for the Mustangs. The tie run is now coming into the batter's box in the form of senior third baseman Gavin Gold, who also was pinch hit for earlier in this inning. But with the game on the line, Coach Rumfield reinserts Gold, and he has been a clutch player over the past couple of years for the Mustangs. So the Mustangs back in this one. Gold represents the tie run with just one out. Fastball from Emmons is down. 1-0. I have to think that Emmons has to be getting in the neighborhood of his pitch count. He has had trouble finding the strike zone since his reinsertion into this ball game. 1-0 to Gold here. Fastball strike on the inside corner. 1-1. Gold, the 13th Mustang hitter to come to the plate here in the bottom of the 7th. Fastball hits Gavin Gold. And it's another run for the Mustangs. Folks, this might be the most unbelievable game ever. The winning run is coming to the plate in the person of Burke Wahlberg, the sophomore. A grand slam here, and it'll be the greatest comeback victory in Pearce baseball history. He represents the winning run. Still just one out. Here in the bottom of the 7th, Mustangs trail at 14-11. Curveball from Emmons stays wide. 1-0. Pitch is a fastball strike. It looked like Wahlberg was taking all the way, and probably as he should, as Emmons has had trouble finding the strike zone here in the 7th inning. Bases loaded, 1-1 count to Wahlberg. 14-11 now. Fastball, check swing strike, 1-2. Wahlberg walked earlier in the inning, and it was a bases loaded walk, so he collected an RBI, came around to score himself. Now 1-2 to Wahlberg. Fastball, grounded to second. Gonzalez picks, throws, and he gets him. But Vincent comes home, and it's 14-12 now. So it's an RBI ground out from Wahlberg, and that'll bring up Wyatt Erickson with the tie run in scoring position. Folks, this is just unbelievable. What an unbelievable game we're witnessing here. 14-12, the Mustangs came into this inning with 2 runs. They have scored 10, and a sharp base hit into the gap would plate the 2 runs needed to tie this game. The RBI leader for the Mustangs, Wyatt Erickson, comes up to the plate. So no hitter that you'd rather have up here in this situation. He leads the Mustangs in slugging percentage. He leads the Mustangs in RBI. Leads the Mustangs in plate appearances. He's been a staple all year for the Mustangs. He faces Emmons here with 2 ducks on the pond. And Erickson skies one foul back behind the Warrior dugout. 0-1. Remember, the ball is carrying here today. If Erickson can get one airborne, and he is a pull hitter, there is a jet stream out to left center and left field. If Erickson can get one up in the air, this game could be a walk-off, unbelievable victory here. We'll see. Curveball swung on and missed. 0-2. Runners at second and third, 0-2 count to Erickson. Curveball is hit deep to left. This ball's gone. This ball's gone. Their most unbelievable victory in J.J. Pearce baseball history. Wyatt Erickson has hit a 3-run walk-off home run for the J.J. Pearce Mustangs. The most unbelievable victory victory in J.J. Pearce baseball history. It is pandemonium at home plate for the Mustangs. Wyatt Erickson continues his clutch hitting. The most unbelievable comeback in J.J. Pearce history. Count them, 13 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning for J.J. Pearce. The hero is Wyatt Erickson. He is joined by several heroes as the Mustangs continued to keep this game going. It was an 0-2 pitch that Erickson sent soaring over the left field fence. Folks, there was no doubt about it. Wyatt Erickson has sent half of this crowd into shock, the other half into pandemonium, elation. Unbelievable. The Mustangs with a historic 15-14 victory over South Grand Prairie in the first of a 3-game set. Never again will this announcer think that a baseball game is over. I said earlier in this inning that all the drama had been removed. Never have I been more incorrect in my life. The most drama in the history of J.J. Pearce baseball as Wyatt Erickson hits an 0-2 pitch deep over the fence and left, and the Mustangs steal one from the South Grand Prairie Warriors, 15-14. These two teams will do it again tomorrow afternoon at South Grand Prairie. Folks, this is a never say die Mustang team. You do not want to miss the game tomorrow as these Mustangs will try to advance for the 3rd year in a row to the area round playoffs. John Brewer and Randy Edwards for FridayNightGlory.com bringing you what is clearly the most unbelievable high school baseball comeback victory maybe ever in this Metroplex, but certainly in J.J. Pearce history. Please join us tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock as these same Mustangs will travel to South Grand Prairie to continue this magical season. Once again, Mustangs 15, Warriors 14. Good afternoon, everybody.